G'day there gamers, it's your main man Marky, back at it again with another episode of r/Idontworkherelady. Leave me alone, stop following me down the Tesco's line, okay? Anyway, today's episode, we're starting off with a submission from the r/Marky subreddit. Whoa, thank you Dragon Crystal. Let's get right into it, guys. Hey, do you know how to fix this computer? I'm also a student. I don't work here. A bit of background. I'm a college student, but due to not passing classes because of stressful work and other stressful things, I can't take classes until 2021. So since my youngest brother has classes, I might sometimes go with him and buy lunch for him since he is still new with college and is very shy. But this story happened 2 years before that happened. Our cast are me equals myself, RD, random dude, computer lab worker, and security. I was working on my keyboarding and English homework on the computer, while listening to music on YouTube to help me focus. I've been trying for a full hour now, and can feel my legs stiffing up, so I decided to pause my music, get up and walk around for 15 to 20 minutes. I sit down for like 5 hours a time before I do that. Get on my level, buddy. And just as I come back to my computer to finish my assignment, and just as I was going to start playing my music again, I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn up and see this very old guy, probably middle 50 or older, ones that might not be attending college anymore. They say, "Hey, do you know how to fix this computer? 'Cause I can't seem to log on." I say, "You need a student ID and password to log on." "Well, I don't have one yet. Can you help me make one?" "No, I'm busy with my homework that's due at midnight of today, and English paper that is due in a few days." "Oh, you seem like a smart girl. Just use your computer and help set up my ID and password for me. It should be easily, since you work here." Sorry, but I don't work here?" "Yes, you do. I seen you working at the mail office every time I come here." "I'm sorry, but you're mistaking me for someone else. I only come here 2 days a week." No. I clearly seen you here all the time, and I were helping another student set up their student ID. "When did you supposedly see me do this?" "Just this morning. I was in class, I just finished an hour ago." "Do not lie to me. I know what I say. Now hurry up and make my student ID and password." Me, starting to get worried and wanted to get back to my homework, spots CL walking by. "Let me get my coworker who knows what to do, how to set it up, do that for you." Brain is shut down, waves him. "Hey CL, can you help set up this guy's student ID and password for him?" RD's face turns very pale, and he's trying to play it cool. "I'm here to set up my student ID and password, and she claims to not know how to do that, when I clearly saw her doing so earlier today." CL's like, "Have I seen you before?" And they're like, "No, this is my first time coming here. That's why I'm here to set up." "There's you are, I've been looking all over for you." Apparently, RD had been known to sneak into the college and try to use the computer for non-college reasons, and the college president has told each security guard to be on the lookout for him and remove him from the property. RD was taken away, and I was able to return to my homework. Thank you for the story, Dragon Crystal. That was epic. And our next story was by user White on Myogji, titled, "I get harassed while teaching a game. Store owner starts to give me the employee discount." It's me, your friendly neighborhood card game judge. In addition to running and judging tournaments all over the place, I have some shocking news. I love card games. I've played almost every collectible card game, traditional or trading card game, LCG, unique games / card game that's been printed. And I love teaching people how to play card games. Some games are really simple and others are complex and requires 5 sets of tokens. So about 5 weeks ago, I was at my FLGS, friendly local game store, and I was showing a few people how to play a new cooperative card game based on a major comic book franchise. I was explaining the rules and what the cards do and everything. The entire time there was this ET, let's call him MODOK, that kept interrupting me. Now, I love teaching, so I didn't mind explaining things. But MODOK was asking things like, why isn't Krypton Man or Nocturnal Avian Mammal Man in this game? Wrong publisher, buddy. How come you're playing as a girl's hero? Who's that anyway? I've never heard of her. She must suck. I kind of had enough. And I snapped, look, you apparently don't know what you're talking about, so please leave us alone and let me finish teaching the game. If you're interested in learning, I can stick around after and teach you the game. MODOK stormed off and I'm like, good riddance, buddy. Finally, I got the game set up and we started playing. All was well, with the exception that we're getting our butts kicked by the game. Then I noticed MODOK walking to a woman, let's call her Hella, in full Karen gear stomping towards me. Uh-oh. Hella's like, did you snap at my kid? Yeah, I'm trying to teach the game to people and MODOK keeps interrupting us. Well, isn't it your job to answer questions from customers? What are you talking about? You work here, don't you? No, I don't. And I'm done being interrupted, lady. Get lost. How dare you? I know I've seen you behind the counter before, and you're here every week doing this. Look, get it through your thick skull that I don't work here. Now leave me alone before I have you and MODOK thrown out for harassing me. Hella's like, you're a liar. You don't work here. I'm done with this bull crap. I stormed to the counter and get the store owner. We'll call him Thor. Thor's like, in his Australian accent, hey, what's going on? I'm like, can you fix this crazy tramp in her spawn? She's been harassing me for the last 5 minutes and saying I work for you. You do? Looks at Hella and MODOK. Oh god, you two. Look, it's one thing to harass my employees. They get paid to take a certain amount of abuse. But it's completely another thing to harass one of my customers. Do you know how much this guy spends in my store? Hella's like, why is everyone lying? I know he works here. I see him behind the counter on your computer. Fire him right now, or I will make sure MODOK or his friends never ever come to your store ever again. Thor's like, he runs events for me. That's why he's behind the counter. I don't pay him to run those events. I can't run those events without him, and I make money off those events. I'm not firing him because he's not an employee. And if he was an employee, I wouldn't fire him for all the money that he makes me. And MODOK and his friends? What friends? Oh, his friends who he annoys all the time. The friends that gets yelled at by him when they try to help him get better. And the friends that begged me to ban him from the store? Those friends? Now get the frick out of my store or I'll call the cops. Hella looks stunned for a minute, and then turns around and storms out of the store. MODOK stood there looking like he's about to cry, then Shaw shouted, "Leave now!" And MODOK turned and ran after Hella. I say, thanks. Do I get the employee discount now? Thor rolled his eyes at me and flipped me off and walked away laughing. I went back to my table and continued the game. We got our butts handed to us. A few weeks later, I went and picked up something from the store. I know how much the items should cost, but the price I was being charged at was lower than I was expecting. I didn't mention anything, but I noticed on the receipt, 10% employee discount. I mentioned this to the clerk, and he pulled up my store account, and he told me that Thor changed my account to an employee account. Wow, epic. And now a comment from Waffle Foxes. I worked at a Wizard of the Coast store many years ago. We had our fair share of socially ignorant kids, especially for Pokemon League. We also had a disabled kid who had some developmental issues. It wasn't so bad that his mother had to stay with him though, so she would drop her kid off and go enjoy the mall while we played. There are constantly rules arguments, and this kid and another got into a fight over it. It got to the point of shoving, and I kicked them both out of the store. They sat on the bench outside of the store sulking, and eventually came back in together to apologize. I told them that I accepted their apology, and they were welcome to come back to the next league, but they were still out for the rest of the day. An hour later, their mums came back to find them both out of the store. I was super nervous about how their mother of the disabled kid would react. Thank heavens she thanked me for treating him like every other kid and giving him actual consequences for his behavior, and the exact same consequences as the neurotypical kid. Oh, that's a pretty wholesome way to end off the episode, I'd say. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this one today. Tell me what you thought about this r/I don't work here lady topic. If there's anything else you guys would like to tell me, whatever you're doing today, whatever you're flexing about, I'd love to hear it from your beautiful faces. As always, I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, sleep whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.